Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. Welcome to another broadcast of the Now Generation Radio broadcast. Coming to you live with issues of today and tomorrow with our youth of this generation, featuring our hostess, Evangelist Shakira Graham.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for plugging into Now Generation. We're so glad to be back on the set today, and we're glad that you're plugging in with us. I'm so excited because I got some awesome guests in the studio, and y'all know every time we get together, you know, it's just really a live show. So what I want you to do, I want you to get on the phone, call your cousin, call your grandmother, call everybody, and let them know that Now Generation Radio is back on the air. My name is Shakira Graham. I'll be your host today. We have some special guests. We got our boy from Fayetteville, North Carolina, Emory Anderson is in the studio with us.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
And we're just so excited about Emory being with us. It's taking time out of his busy schedule. I think he's getting ready to cook and get ready to hook up some good gourmet meals for the family. So we appreciate him for coming out and just taking some time to really give us some good music on today. Also, I want to introduce Anthony Freeman Jr. Give your shout outs to the listeners.
What up, everybody? I'd like to give a shout out to my mom, dad, church, family, all the listeners in the surrounding area of Rayford and Fayetteville. Good morning to you.
And we have LaTanya Ray in the studio with us. She was going to go home. I said, no, don't go home. Come hang with us. LaTanya Ray is in the studio. Give your shout out to the listeners.
Hi, everybody. I want to give a shout out to Shakira.
That's so sweet. We thank God for LaTanya and the crew that's here. But again, this is a special music segment, and we really have some awesome artists that's among us, and we really want to celebrate them. And we want to support their music because it's not always on the television, but we believe God has taken this young man to greatness and is elevating his music. So we wanted to celebrate and show some love locally. So we thank God again for Emory Anderson. Emory, we know we got a lot of songs that you just anointed you to put out. And and it's some of our favorites and some of our anthems that we adopted and really just sing like it's our own. So we appreciate you so much for what God is doing in your life. So Emory, one of the songs that we'll start out with is called No Fear. Tell the listeners about No Fear.
With the song No Fear, pretty much self-explanatory. The Word of God tells us that God hasn't given us a spirit of fear. So it's a song that I created to be an anthem, like a Christian anthem for whenever we go into situations or we face obstacles and we're in uncomfortable circumstances, that we go in it trusting God, we go in it with faith, and we go in it in a courageous manner and not being fearful and taking the steps that God will have us to take, and just trust Him in where He's leading us to go. So when you hear the lyrics in the song and you hear the chorus, it's just letting the people know, like, look, we can do this thing with no fear. Like anything that comes our way, we need to approach it with an attitude and a spirit of having no fear.
And again, those of you for tuning into Now Generation Radio, you're hearing from Emory Anderson, and this is one of his hits called No Fear.
Lost the other team, so I never see the bench seat. Throw me in the mud, now my clothes all dingy. I still show you love because your boy got plenty. I still dap you up because your boy ain't stingy. And I won't hold a grudge, that just ain't in me. But a spirit of fear, he ain't give me. But he gave me swagger like my first name was Jimmy. On a scale from 1 to 10, I feel like I'm on 20. They CJC when they see me, so you can call me Penny. Slim but still a heavyweight, so you can call me Jenny. I hear you talking, but you're blowing smoke, call you chimney. Don't mistake my kindness for weakness, because I turned the other cheek, kid, like Martin Luther King did. I roll with the Alpha Omega like fraternity. And one day you will learn and see that you were no concern to me.
All my riders here on the front end. And we ain't ever scared. Everybody put your hands up in the air. Let's make this real clear. No,
I know that I ain't perfect and nobody on this earth is.
So when I need a tune-up, well, yes, it's time for service. But I admit that at times I am nervous, crying at night and hurting. But I'm reminded of words then I decided that I believe none of what I see and all that I heard from him, the one and only. And now you think you know me, but similar to dandruff, you've only scratched the surface. No fear so clear that I have this purpose that goes deeper than this earth is. Means more than the materials and these curses that we be blurred in such a disservice. Ripping our wallets, clenching our purses, scared to listen in this working service, so nervous. But I have no fears, not as if no tears flow here, but the power to steer so clear from the temptation. And I ain't talking David Ruffin, no fear within God, yes, it's all or nothing.
What's up, everybody? You're tuning into Now Generation Radio, and we're in the studio with Emory Anderson and Blessed with a Gift. We're just so glad, that he's taking time to come in the studio with us and sharing some awesome music today. One of the tracks that we really love, and this is really seriously an anthem, and I think, Emory, everywhere you go, you can tell them about it. You always get those requests for story time. So tell them about story time and how that came about. I love the song. I think it's so awesome, and the creativity, the anointing that God has given you. You see all the generations kind of intermingle and just get up together and really celebrate the song. Tell them about story time.
Well, the concept behind story time, in reading the Bible, you see Jesus uses a lot of parables and breaks down the message that he's trying to convey to the audience or to the disciples. And in a lot of cases, he uses parables to make that association or that relationship where they can understand it, not like a dumbed down level, but where it's like, okay, you won't take it out of context. So what I did with the song Storytime is I took parables, popular parables that Jesus told in the Bible, and related them to childhood nursery rhymes like the Three Little Pigs and the Tortoise and the Hare, and tied in the same themes that Jesus was trying to convey to his audiences, and showed light in those same childhood parables. Like, okay, look, these same principles can be applied to this. It's just the perspective in which you look at it. So giving them a familiar story time or nursery story that they know, and then being able to relate it to the words of Jesus Christ in the Bible, they'll be able to draw that association. So like you said, someone of a younger audience or an older audience will be able to be attracted to the song. So that's the concept and the vision behind the song Storytime.
So ladies and gentlemen, listen to Storytime.
Turn on the listening ears. Gotta receive what I'm about to say. Put your hands together. Say the story time. Boys and girls, everybody just gather around. Pull your chair up, kick your shoes off and sit on down. Go ahead and chill out and unwind. Find you a friend, you'll be just fine. Ease your thoughts, relax your mind. It's story time. We all know the story of the Three Little Pigs. We heard it growing up when we were all little kids. A bad wolf house, a hay house, of twigs. But I believe there's more to the story than what it is. Let's look at the first pig, look what he did. Built this house of hay, the second the house of twigs. That's like the foolish man who built his house on sand. Cause when the flood comes, his house would not stand. And sure enough, the flood came. The big bad wolf took their houses down with just one poof. The two pigs went scrambling out. They ran down the streets of their big brother's house. Now the big brother listened to the sayings of the Lord. His younger brothers, Jesus, his words they ignored. So maybe that's why his house was made of bricks, built on a rock to stand the storms and licks. Built on a rock to stand the storms and licks. Built on a rock to stand the storms and licks. Built on a rock to stand the storms and licks. Everybody just gather around. Pull you a chair up, kick your shoes off and sit on down. Go ahead and chill out and unwind. Find you a friend, you'll be just fine. Ease your thoughts, relax your mind. It's story time. Remember the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise was so slow, the race didn't seem fair. I believe there's more to the story than what the author shared. While the hare was stretching the tortoise, he sent up a prayer. Out the gunshot, the race begun. The tortoise's chances of winning 1,000,000 to none. The hare dotted out, he got up in front, while the tortoise ran his pace, keeping steady with the one. His word says the race is not given to the swift. The tortoise had this knowledge and he took note of it. The hare got tired, off the sleep he would drip, but the tortoise kept it up, sorta like a facelift. See, before the race he read Ecclesiastes 9:12. He knew he was slow, but he knew he would prevail. Cause see, time and chance
guess it happens to us all. The tortoise won the race, the hare dropped the ball.
Tortoise won the race, but the hare dropped the ball.
The tortoise won the race, the hare dropped the ball.
Tortoise won the race, but the hare
Yeah,
dropped the ball.
the tortoise won the race, the hare dropped the ball.
Girls, everybody just gather around. You a cheer up, kick your shoes off and sit on down. Go ahead and chill out and unwind. Find you a friend, you'll be just fine. Ease your thoughts, relax your mind. It's story time.
See, Jesus Christ, he told a whole lot of parables. Stories to help us when life seems unbearable. When life seems so terrible, broken, and it seems unrepairable. Man, Jesus is incredible, and his word, it is credible. That's why he's the head of my life. He's the bread of life, so that makes him edible.
Girls, everybody just gather around. You a cheer up, kick your shoes off and sit on down. Go ahead and chill out and unwind. Find you a friend, you'll be just fine. Ease your thoughts, relax your mind. It's story time. Boys and girls, everybody just gather around. You a cheer up, kick your shoes off and sit on down. Go ahead and chill out and unwind. Find you a friend, you'll be just fine. Ease your thoughts, relax your mind. It's story time. It's story time. Listen, story time. Story time.
Thank you so much for plugging into Now Generation. We're just so excited about Emory Anderson being in the studio with us. If you're just now plugging in, you're hearing from Emory Anderson and Blessed with a Gift, a tremendous artist that God is raising up, for our young people and even our older generation really can get with the music of this young man, Emory. So just stay plugged in with us. One of the songs that I like listening to when I bought your CDs is Mother's Cry. And what I like about the music is that you can kind of identify with it. And I'm sure those who are listening. So Mother's Cry is what I want to play next. But tell us a little bit about Mother's Cry.
Well, Mother's Cry is actually close to myself, to my heart. I was raised by a single mother. My father passed away when I was 3. So my mom raised myself and my younger brother on her own. And I saw some of the struggles that she went through, a lot of the sacrifices that she had to make. Didn't have to make, but chose to make so that my brother and I would have everything that we need, make sure we have food on the table, clothes on our back, had shelter. But then I wanted to broaden the horizon and just maybe address issues that maybe my mother didn't go through herself. Some she may have, but then also just open it up to other issues that I've seen women in my family, friends of the family, that they've gone through, that I've seen them attest to personally. So I just put it into one mother's story. It just talks about her obstacles. She's having issues in her marriage. Her kids are torn one way and drawn into the street life. And then the daughter is caught up in superficial and just like lust and all those things. And she feels everything is pulling her, every which way. And she just wants to cry out. And at the end of the song, she has a prayer. She's just crying out to God. So you'll hear it as the song unfolds, Mother's Cry.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mother's Cry.
After she took the time to think about how wrong he did her. Like when he raised his hands to hit her. It's hard to think of good if the bad is bigger. Go figure. Marriage seems down the drain. Sinking underwater, she feels drowned in pain. It's kinda hard for her to keep on when she feels there's no reason to hold on. It's so bad she wants to say so long. Arriba Dirty, I'm not gonna stand here and let you hurt me. She decides to stay home cause it seems so wrong to move on. After being married for so long, she's at home while he's Lord knows where. Losing her hair, she's stressed, he's having an affair, but he really doesn't seem to care. So once again, a mother sheds another tear. So hear a mother's cry, feel the pain is
What's up, everybody? You're tuning into Now Generation, and we're still here flowing with our special guest, Emory Anderson, and Blessed with a Gift. We're just so glad that the Lord is really raising this young man up, and he's sharing his phenomenal musical gifts with us. And one of the songs that we want to share today is called Where's Your Faith? So many people now being challenged in their faith. So, Emory, kind of speak to that a little bit about Where's Your Faith?
Now, the name of the song is entitled Where Your Faith Is, which is actually in proper English. So, Shakira, I do appreciate you saying it the correct way. But just
where your faith is.
Right, exactly. But the artistic side is just where your faith is. That's kind of how it came out when I was writing it. Basically, the song is just paints a picture. There's just like a storyline type of song. There's a female, there's a male. They're both going through two different situations where their faith is being tested. Like all the odds are stacked against them. They've been dealt a bad hand. And the underlining message or theme, you could say, is God allows you to go through things sometimes. He won't put more on you than you can bear, but he'll allow you to go through some things. But at the end, when you come out, trials, those tribulations, to test to see where your faith is. So that's where the storyline comes. And I don't want to tell too much about the song because I really want the listeners to lock into the lyrics and just really follow the story as it goes along. But that's the underlying theme of the song, Where Your Faith Is.
So plug in your hearing from Emory Anderson, Where Your Faith Is.
This one feel good right here. Yeah. Yeah. Clap. Everybody clap. Ooh, it feel good. Clap. Yeah, clap. Put your hands together, clap. Yeah. Here we go. Hey. Tell you about her. She had dreams and aspirations, but they're hard to follow with the peer pressure she's facing. She grew up impoverished, but now she's making the decision to get more knowledge and go to college. But the cost of tuition and empty out of pockets. $20,000 for school, she ain't got it. Carrying maxed out credit cards in a wallet, so now she can't get a loan, so she works and stays at home. She can see a light through a window, all the things that a God had for her in store. She knew that she was in a temporary position. She put her faith in God and kept her persistent. So she ain't get loans, she ain't need them, she got scholarships. He blessed her through her struggle, her tolerance. She went to school for free. She ain't have $1 spent, she ain't had to pay no room and board or apartment rent. She went through a test just to see what her faith was. 4 years later, final exams and papers. Come spring, she graduated with diploma in hand, and to sweeten up the deal, God to win a good man. Hey. Looking for a breakthrough, but obstacles keep holding him back. He can't shake loose. Said it's hard to move up at work when people hate you, and self-esteem remains low when women won't date you.
Lord You're Great is one of my songs. I keep saying this right, y'all, but all of them are my songs. But when I'm in my Jeep, I pump it up like I'm crazy, and it just puts me in the zone. So Lord You're Great is. I'm gonna just say this. It's another one of my anthems. Because I got like 10 of them from Emory Anderson and Blessed with a Gift. I really just believe in this music, and the music has a message behind it. That's why I'm so excited about it. And I just really thank God for the message behind the music, which is so clear. And it does represent Christ. When you're listening to it, you get ministered to and you can identify with it. So, Lord, You're Great. You know, Emory talk about that, but Lord, You're Great. Those of you who are listening, it's just that. Lord, the Lord is great. So Emory, speak to Lord, You're Great.
Right. This is clearly just like a testimonial type song. Me myself, I'm a Christian hip hop artist, spoken word artist, but I'm a worshiper at heart. And one of my favorite worship songs is How Great Is Our God. So taking that emotion, taking that feeling, that passion that I get when I hear that song, when I sing that song, when I play that song, and then conveying it in a different median as far as like, okay, how can I take this feeling, this emotion from how great is our God, and then convey it in a hip hop or urban format, then you get Lord You're Great. And that's really where the presentation of Lord You're Great comes in. And this is just really a song where myself and an artist I work with by the name of Labrita Johnson, we're just telling God how great He is and thanking Him for being great and being who He is in our lives. That's the song, Lord You're Great. Like, it could just be Lord You're Great and say nothing else on the track, and it's already said enough. I just had to title it Lord You're Great.
And so we just challenge all the listeners out there, when you hear this song, just lift your hands and tell the Lord right where you are how great He is. Lord You're Great by Emory Anderson, blessed with a gift.
You delivered me when life was spiraling. No love is like your love. When all else failed on me, I then turned to you, wanting you to set me free. My life was filled with hate, guilt, doubt, and fear, living outside your will. You took me in spite of all my mess, gave me your best, and nothing less. I was lost in outer space and couldn't see your face. All I knew to do was pray, Lord, to you. In my past, you erased and broke all the chains, and I praise you because you are you.
Lord, I need to talk to you.
Lord, you're great.
I was living foul like free throws, penalties left and right like T.O. Yeah, when he played for the egos, same mistakes duplicated like Kinko's. I can't take them back like the repo. Lord knows I've hurt so many people. I've done things that only He and me knows, but now I'm in a place where only me and He goes. All the crap in my life He disposed, took the chip off my shoulder, no Dorito. But then He snatched the chains like Debo. Then the real love towards me was this close. He told me I was the one like Neo, the one who could speak to His people. I was running from this, He kept chasing. I know Him to be better than great. He's amazing.
I was lost in outer space and couldn't see your face. All I knew to do was pray, Lord, to you. In my past, you erased and broke all the chains, and I praise you because you are you. I was lost in outer space and couldn't see your face. All I knew to do was pray, Lord, to you. In my past, you erased and broke all the chains, and I praise you because you are you.
This for the people right here.
Lord, you're great.
Tell me how great is our God. Unemployed for 6 months, now you got a job. Used to catch the bus, but now you got a car. Got your own crib, moved out from your mom's. Thought you had cancer, they trying to find the cause. Said it might be from you puffing on cigars. So now you look to Him for a miracle. Would do your part.
God bless you, everybody. Thanks for just hanging out with us. And, I hope that you've been enjoying Emory Anderson, our special guest with Now Generation Radio today. We're just so glad that he's been with us, blessing us with his presence, and our other special guests that's in the studio as well. We just been sharing some awesome music by Emory Anderson and Blessed with a Gift, and we'll get his contact information. I want to encourage all pastors, youth leaders, if you're having a program at your church, Fifth Sundays and things like that, any kind of special events where you want somebody who is integrous, is living with character, and is really living for God, sold out. Emory Anderson, I would strongly recommend him because his lifestyle speaks to what he sings about and what he writes about. So many times we kind of invite people in and we don't know their lifestyle or their background. So I encourage you, youth leaders, invite Emory Anderson in to speak to your young people. teachers. If you're having something at the schools, he's also an awesome a tutor and a teacher himself. So, Emory Anderson is the man for the job to help reach this generation, especially our young boys and our young men. So I challenge you, if you're looking for somebody who's solid in the Word of God and operate in integrity, invite Emory Anderson into your settings, and he'll be a blessing, and he'll just get the job done because he's going to depend on the Lord. That's my plug. He didn't tell me to do that. But I just really thank God for all of you listening today. And Emory, we're just going to wrap this segment up, but one of the songs that is really, all your songs are great because they're Holy Spirit inspired. God give them to you. But one of the songs I really love, is Boom Bam, and this is really an anthem. So tell them about Boom Bam, what they can expect to hear when they, just tell them about it.
Right. Well, Boom Bam is what I've realized over time, like the fan favorite song. It wasn't one of my favorite songs, believe it or not, on my last project. But as people begin to hear it and they bought the CDs and stuff, as I would go places, people would say, "Hey, you're gonna do Boom Bam, right?" And I was like, well, I really hadn't intended to. But the first time that I was able to minister the song Boom Bam, I saw just the power and the anointing in the song and how it went forth. And I was like, okay, maybe that's the reason why people are requesting this song. And the concept for the song, I like giving the background so people, when they hear it, they can relate it. It kind of goes back to that original Batman and Robin TV show that used to come on, like the young Batman with the little ears, and when they used to fight the villains, the Joker, the Penguin, the Riddler, every time there would be a contact in battle, it would be like splat, crack, boom, bam. So that stuck in my head, and I was like, oh man, I like that. So this is kind of like that attack song on the enemy, like when the enemy arises in your life and those obstacles arise and veer their ugly head. It's like, this is us hitting back. We're taking the first initial action. So we attack, and that sound of that attack is boom bam. So usually when I perform this song, the crowd gets into it. They have their little motions and throwing their little punches, and they get into the boom bam. So it's a real live, real high energy song. And every time I'm able to minister it, man, like God just comes in and just takes over the atmosphere. So over time, it has become one of my favorite songs. So Boom Bam, I would have to say, is in my top list. So.
Tune in to Emory Anderson, Blessed with a Gift, Boom Bam.
Satan, he don't like me because the God I serve is great and almighty. He tries to kill me, but God shields me so he can't feel me. He tried to give me the world, he tried to give me money, he tried to give me girls. He said, I'll take you on a joy ride. I looked him in his face, I said, after 3 times he came back for a 4th try. Tried to get me off my path and put me on the roadside. Whatever name you go by, because I roll with the most high. I was weak, but now I'm much stronger. Got the swagger of a soldier and I speak much bolder. The next time you roll up, you feel what I'm saying and get sliced like a cold cut. I ain't no superhero, I ain't got no sidekick, I ain't got no sequel. But I do fight villains, demons who try to overtake civilians. It's the sound of a 1-2 combo when I'm fighting the rival, hit 'em with the Tybo. It's the sound of my pen when I write my words cut like swords in the name of the Lord, hit 'em with it. Boom, bam, yeah. Hit 'em with it, boom, bam. Boom, bam. Let me get it back. I've been saved by God's grace, and Satan, he knows I have power over him. He gave me secular lyrics, then he said, I looked at him crazy like I threw it right back. It's such a pity, he's steady trying to get me, but he can't harm me. I roll with an army. I'm walking in the spirit. He can't take my life simply for that mere fact.
Let me check my utility belt.
I got love, joy, peace, and a few things else. Patience, kindness, goodness, and faithfulness. Gentleness, self-control, my artillery holds. With attacks from the enemy on my life daily. It's important that I stay prayed up like crazy. If God is for me, who can be against me? Enough said, he gets the hint, so he flees. I ain't no superhero, I ain't got no sidekick, I ain't got no...
Tuned to a Now Generation experience. Hope to see you at the same station, same time, same place next week. Peace and love.